Very, very, very busy gym this time around. I was lucky initially to find this rack, but later on my luck ran out as I wasn't able to perform an exercise that I had planned. So I started off with some explosive stuff for the posterior chain, for the lower body mostly, and that also works the upper back, which I was then going to superset with a neutral grip pull-up just to get some work for the upper body, more volume oriented. And in here, as I was going up to the 2 working sets that I did for the high pulls, I was experimenting a bit with grip width. And I wasn't placing my hand as far out as I'm usually doing, because I'm noticing that as the weight comes down and I am lowering it in control, I am feeling a bit too much pressure on my pinky fingers, and I think that it's because the wrist is in such a position that kind of puts a lot of pressure on there, and I am not wearing straps for that. So I believe that if I want to keep a wider grip, I should be starting to use straps. The weight is not very heavy, but the amount of pressure that it puts on those fingers is a good enough reason to have straps ready anytime that I'm performing these, because then I'm focusing on the exercise and I'm not being distracted by a small detail, but that could be important in the long-term health of the progression. And the way that I was feeling with this narrower grip high pulls was not great. I felt a bit of tension in the shoulder, because the position that I'm at with the narrower grip kind of forces my elbow to be a bit farther behind the snatch grip. So I think that I will just be doing these in a wider position, which is the one that I have also been seeing most people do online. This is the final set, and I kind of lost the groove from the get-go, so I decided to just do a reset on each repetition, because I was starting to get a bit tired and I wanted to get a good 4 reps in, so I took a bit longer with the execution. And then I went on to doing some work for the shoulder. In here, I decided to go for 14 kilo dumbbells on the overhead press and just go down in repetitions, but I probably did not go as down as I should have, because I started feeling an annoyance after the workout. It was a bit of a lingering sensation of discomfort inside the shoulder, which gives me a pretty good idea that I have overdone that work. And this is the second and final set of those, and then I was planning to do some hip thrust, but unfortunately there was no space for me to do that, so I had to compromise. So I went to the 45 hyper and did 3x20 with body weight back extensions. I don't want to load them because I have not done those loaded in a while, and I wanted to keep it safe, so I performed some high rep work, which gave me a good pump in the glutes and the posterior chain, and ended at that. Ciao.